Hey everyone, today I am with Rick Hoegler, the president and owner of Pan American Properties, and we are here at one of Rick's 18 units here in Santa Ana that you're renovating. Rick, thanks so much for being here and showing us around.
For sure. So let's kind of start with the backstory. So again, 18 units. We've been in this project for about 2 years now. A little bit of delay with COVID and all of that fun stuff, but bought this out of receivership. So the city of Santa Ana is actually really trying to clean their act up, so to speak. So what we did is came in. We had an opportunity to buy this at a pretty low price. We're able to do that and clear all the code violations. You know, do a major rehab on this property, and can't wait to show you the inside. It's kind of where we're at here. We're about, say, 45 days out from completion, and thought you might find it interesting to take a look.
Absolutely. The viewers on the channel really appreciate us getting out in the field, walking real estate, and we really are grateful to have you on the channel before we dive in, because you've been running a third-party property management business for decades.
Yes.
You've been helping out a lot of investors. You're leaning in as times are getting tough. But then this is also to show that you do more than just third-party property management. You're also going in and doing substantial renovations on assets.
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about that before we dive in?
Sure. So I've been doing this for 30 years. So kind of dates me a little bit, but that's okay. Seen a lot, done a lot. We do property management, as you know, Dan said, but we also are licensed general contractors. So we, for our fee managed clients, can do this kind of work as well. It doesn't have to be owned, and I think we bring kind of a uniqueness to that space because we look at things from an owner's perspective, from where are we going to spend dollars to maximize rent, and we're not just a general contractor for trying to make money. It's spend the money right, spend the money well, and make sure that everybody's happy at the end of the day. So,
all right, great. Well, let's walk on through.
All right,
show us around. Where are we headed?
So let's go up here through the front. Obviously, we're in the middle of still doing some of the landscape work out here.
So this is 100% vacant right now.
100% vacant.
And you're doing all the work consistently throughout. So you're not doing one unit at a time.
Yes.
You're going through and doing everything.
Yep, economies of scale.
Okay.
So we came in here, we restuccoed the property, lots of wood rot, so we took care of all of that. All new entry doors. This was all rotted wood that you see here, so we're actually gonna come in and pour that out and then put a nice deck system over this. Keep it just nice, simple, clean. So this is very efficient, as far as the living spaces are concerned, which I think people are really looking for today. Mm-hmm. So let's come in and take a look.
Okay, great.
So this is a 2-bedroom unit, one of the few that are here. Most of these are 1-bedrooms and studios. But we were able to also, when you do a project like this, where it's of this kind of scale, you're able to move some things around to make it a little bit more workable, a little bit more usable for residents. So I think, again, with our experience, we come in and we look at, hey, what's going to work, what's going to sell well to a resident. Mm-hmm. Let's make those changes now versus down the road and go, oh, geez, we forgot about this or that. So,
gotcha.
So we've got washer dryer hookups that we were able to carve in. So obviously we built this space here that was not existing initially, so that way we can meet the needs for washer dryers. Everybody loves that in units, as you know, Dan. So we did that. New electrical, new plumbing, new cabinetry, the whole 9 yards. So
real quick, you mentioned that washer dryer hookups was the #1 selling feature.
Yes.
Within units.
Absolutely. It still is to this day. We used to, back in the day when we first started doing conversions, we were lucky to get about $150 rent lift. Mm-hmm. Today you're getting $225, $250. Mm-hmm. So it's well worth the investment. And that's where, again, we can come in, we can figure out how efficiently we can get washer dryer hookups into even existing units, so that way you're able to maximize the rent.
Gotcha. And you just tied in right into the kitchen here.
Exactly. So the kitchen's right here. Again, all new cabinetry, all new electrical. We even put little touches in, like the water service for the refrigerators.
Okay.
So they'll actually have workable ice makers inside of the refrigerators. So again, just think that, thinking about those little details that might get overlooked by others that are just contracting versus, hey, looking at this through the lens of an owner, through an operator. what's really gonna hit the mark when it comes to rentals.
I mean, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
that's the name of the game.
Right.
What are you going to do for flooring in these?
So all of this is going to go plank.
Okay.
So we use a wood vinyl plank product. Anybody that's not, I think, is missing the boat. You really have to get the carpet out. Nobody wants that anymore. So so we keep trying new things. I mean, on the market, always is something coming out that's better. So we really try. So sometimes we'll go in with more of a sheet vinyl product that has its pros and cons. In certain communities, people really like to use a lot of water on the floor when they're cleaning. So a sheet vinyl product may actually be better because you have less seams versus maybe using a plank product, which might get you a rent lift in maybe a different market. So we try to tailor what we do to the units based on what our demographics are and what's really going to make sense.
Okay, great. Is this 100% single story, the property?
No, there's actually 2 units upstairs in the back that we can go take a look at.
Okay, great. Would you still do vinyl plank upstairs?
Yeah,
when you're stacked, or how do you do that?
We do that, and I guess my mentality on that is that if you do vinyl plank upstairs, if you're concerned about a noise issue, it's only noisy for one resident, and that's the one that's downstairs.
Gotcha.
Once they leave, it becomes normal to the new resident that comes in. So if that makes sense, to where it's like, hey, especially if you're going through a project where you're doing a substantial renovation, you're going to be exiting people anyway. It's really kind of a short-term deal. And they're also bringing in a lot of different products now that are sound absorbing and that don't cost a ton of money. I mean, when we first started doing that, you had to basically put a floor underneath a floor. Now they've got stuff now that you can really, lay down rather quickly, and it's not super cost prohibitive.
Okay, great. All right, take us through the rest. You went through and did all the panels, which I see here.
Yeah, all new electrical panels. That was actually part of the code requirements was do that. The plumbing is all now PEX.
Great.
So instead of using copper or galvanized, so we're all good there. All new doors. Drywall was we actually had to skin this all the way down to the 2x4s. There was a lot of mold issues in this property as well. That was part of the code violations with the city. So in order to just kind of get ahead of that, we just stripped everything out, made sure everything was clean before we brought it back to life.
That brings me up to another point. We had a rainy season. There was a lot of mildew or mold or whatever you want to call it. I like the mildew term at times better. But can you help out owners that have issues with that?
Yes, we had, dare I say, 100 different scenarios in our portfolio, varying from minor things to obviously, hey, we had to do relocations and whatnot, and we can handle all of that. The days of trying to do things inexpensively and my handyman can do that. You really got to be careful, especially when it comes to anything with liability. When it comes to mold or dealing with anything like that, you've got to make sure you get the right people involved. For us, we test on the front end and we test on the back end to make sure that nobody can come back and say, hey, there's still an issue. We really make sure that it's taken care of well. And some of our larger owners that are more institutional really like that because it limits liability and they know that it's being taken care of correctly.
I think that's great. I mean, we had a rainy season, then we might have another one.
Yes.
They're talking about another El Nino. So I think a lot of owners are getting their buildings prepped, make sure there's no roof leaks or any
And I think that's
issues.
That's important, right? Like definitely check your roofs, check your gutters. A lot of people don't do that. That goes unchecked and that can be a problem. Check your downspouts, check your courtyard drains, make sure that those are jetted so that you've got good flow. Those are just some really easy, basic things. Some of those can even be done with in-house maintenance, just to make sure that you're trying to do whatever you can to be proactive in case we do get that way.
Right, you don't get a bigger problem down the road.
Exactly.
All right.
We're doing some the ductless air conditioning units.
Okay.
That's actually another big kind of thing now is a lot of not only cities, but a lot of people are residents are looking to have that because now they get air conditioning in every room instead of just a wall unit to just air condition one space. This can be controlled, so this has remotes for every one of them, so the bedroom can be a different temperature than out here. So that's what you see hanging out here. We're just getting ready to start installing the cassettes inside of the units. Very energy efficient. Small condensing unit that will locate outside.
Okay.
But yeah, a lot of the cities are now liking owners to go to that and versus the this through the wall types.
I see.
So, yeah.
So is this considered a mini split?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, mini split, ductless AC unit are kind of the two words out there. We actually have a supplier that does a really good job in pricing for us, and they're actually made by Carrier, so that's a name that everybody knows. So the units are nice, and we get them at a reasonable price.
All right. Well, great.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah. So let's. So again, as we talked about, all new doors going in.
Mm-hmm. It's a great remodel.
So we'll just keep.
Let's do it.
Way down here. Skylight in here. We actually preserved that just to again try to keep the units as light and bright as possible. So that was actually a pre-existing situation that we just improved upon to make sure that it was proper. This actually here, we had a kitchen wall. If you can see with the hole still in the subfloor. This is actually part of a kitchen wall that just had kind of a pass-through window. So again, when you do these types of renos, you can take the opportunity to, hey, let's really cut this up back and make this a much more open, floor plan. So that's again something that I think we can add is that what's really going to work, what's going to be workable for a resident, what are they really going to appreciate.
This feels a lot bigger than it probably did with the wall.
Absolutely.
Because it's a smaller space, but it works. It flows nicely.
It is. So. And so in the bedroom here, these are actually all were sliders. So again, very inefficient use of square footage, like a slider in a bedroom. Like what are you going to do with that? So we took all the sliders out and put windows in, so that way there's actually more usable square footage inside of the bedroom instead of wasting that space on a slider. So to compensate for the lack of now a small patio area, we'll show you in a bit the common area that we created in the back, even though this is only 18 units, just to give people a sense of, hey, this is community, which I think is very important, especially in the market that we're entering into now. A lot of rents are starting to soften a little bit, as we know. And I think that the more you can do to promote community and to promote people still wanting to write that check really behooves you. So I think that's what we try to look at from all of our project perspectives, whether again it's fee or whether we own it. What can we do to really meet the need of the residents? A lot of insurance carriers don't want barbecues anywhere around the property now, right? Except for if you have a designated common area, and that's what we're going to do here. So that again, we're not eliminating something from a resident. We're just saying, hey, you need to use it over here.
That's great. Well, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely.
See that in a bit.
Here is this is where again we were able to fit the washer dryer in this unit.
Okay.
And then if you look at the bathroom here, we put new tubs, new surrounds in, and again that afforded us the opportunity to put something in a little bit more decorative, but also usable, where it's got some shelves in it and whatnot. Much cheaper than doing the tile and doing all of those cut-ins and whatnot.
Right.
So again, you can still kind of get the same type of, bang, but in a lot more cost-effective manner.
That's a fiberglass enclosure.
Yep, absolutely.
It looks good. Looks really good. Natural light's nice.
Yep.
These will rent quickly.
Here's the studio if you want to take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Actually, this isn't a studio, so you have to edit that, but this is another one bedroom.
Okay.
Again, just a different.
Just kind of different, right. It works though. You got your washer dryer, stackable, kitchen, mini split, single story unit. Can't ask for more. In a good location. I mean, this is technically French Park or French Park adjacent.
Correct.
You're right there. I mean, you're close to everything. There's a lot you can walk to here.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
walkability's high. Main Street is literally a block and a half away. They've got that new rail system that, again, Santa Ana is really promoting that community now, so I know that there's been a lot of talk about, well, there's rent control and whatnot. Yes, true, but again, in an environment like this, if you're helping the city out, they also help you out by, obviously, we were able to vacate this with pretty, low amount of stress and bring it to where it is today.
Gotcha.
What the original plan called for was, if you look over here, we've got this, kind of flag-shaped lot, if you will. What our plan is there is, instead of creating more of an amenity space back there, is to add some additional units there in phase 2 of this project.
Perfect.
So we're ready for it. We've run what we need to, so that way when we're ready for that, let's clear this first. Let's get the city excited about this, and then hopefully we can get some additional units back there.
Oh, wonderful.
So that's what we're
makes
trying
sense.
to do there. So the pivot from creating an amenity project or amenity area there was to bring it up here closer to the building.
I see.
So we're building a seat wall here. We'll have a couple barbecues inside of there, a nice little sitting area, which still meets the need, gives people a sense of community. The property will be gated, so they'll have just a nice feeling environment that they can still have amenities that they might have at a larger community, but maybe not expect at a smaller community.
Oh wow, great. Rick, thanks for showing us your property.
Sure.
I mean, this is really important for the viewers to see, how things are done. They like to get the first view at how somebody goes in and does renovations. This is not just paint and flooring. This is a deeper level of remodel. You've been on this project for over a year. And I think for the viewers who are watching the video here, they want to know how you can do it. And maybe this might be an opportunity for people to reach out to you and to see if you can help them, because it's hard for a mom and pop owner, as you know, in today's market, to grow, keep up with everything, provide good product, good housing product, limit liability, stay ahead of all the trends. So thank you so much for showing us everything about this property.
Absolutely.
I mean, this
Dan,
has been
we
a
love
great.
You guys and your team. I think you do a great job in the marketplace, and we want to be a resource. So if we can help you, if we can help any of your viewers, we're happy to be there. And even if it's just a question, I'm happy to field those. I've been doing this for a while, and I still love what we do. And so thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Well, we'll have to do, once you get this all wrapped up and completed, we'll have to come back or at least provide some shots on the finished product. And if you're doing another project, we'd like to come by again soon and check things out. Thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it. We'll put Rick's contact information below. If you need to reach out, feel free to call the guy. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.